at Frankfurt Open Book Fair. Slovenia was the guest of honor, so I was allowed to speak at the opening ceremony. My speech was, I'm almost ashamed of it, so absolutely careful, moderated, and so on. I said, yes, I condemn Hamas, everything. My point was just, Palestinians are also suffering. You know what happened? They have now a special position in every German land called Beauftragter, to cut it short, Commissar for Fighting Anti-Semitism. And he and another two politicians stood up and, like in old communist times, but communists know it better, stood up and started to shout at me. I'm anti-Semitic, I am equalizing, blah, 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 Hamas, and I'm the worst thing. I'm contextualizing it. And then there was a series of attacks in big German newspapers on me, Frankfurter Allgemeine and so on. The title of one of them is very clear. Hamas has no context. Like it's literally, you have to understand this, you have to go back to German idealism metaphysics. The idea is, this is absolute original abyssal evil. No context can even explain it. And when I then quoted as a reply, Primo Levi of all guys, who said it's crucial to analyze Holocaust, not to say this is just evil, I was again attacked, blah, blah. Another important thing happened there. I was accused of politicizing the event, book fair. Oh, this is a pure cultural event, blah, blah. Sorry, before me there were 5 speakers from Germany. All of them openly repeated one motive, full unconditional support for Israel. I just added to it, Palestinians are also suffering. I was accused of politicizing it. And this brings me to what goes on today, yesterday in Israel. You know, Anat Matar, the professor of philosophy there, is now very sad thing, because she made some for Israel establishment problematic statements. Okay, they want to fire her at the university, but 2 things are ominous here. First, students protested against her. I think the same thing I noticed in Reagan's time when I visited Berkeley. Professors were usually old 68 guys, much more progressive than students. And I don't know how it is here, but all around Europe, the younger generation of men mostly is getting absolutely more reactionary. The other thing, Anat Matar's thesis that every ethics is grounded in a political decision is fully justified here. Because you see, what happened in Frankfurt is when they claim, no, the first guys who preached total support for Israel, this was totally apolitical, just compassion and so on and so on. No, such depoliticization of judgment is politics at its dirtiest. Let me go on. Do I have 2 minutes?
3.
Oh my God, you are getting soft, generous. Okay, let me go on. The fiasco of German philosophy as an answer to all this attacked in corner with them against me, Jürgen Habermas, as close as you can come to a German state philosopher, and 2 other of his followers wrote a public letter. They don't mention me, but I have my KGB agents there. I know what was in the background. Against me, claiming no, unconditional, you know, the usual bullshit. Israel, the only democratic society in the Middle East, and so on and so on. And now I come to conclusion. This is what fascinates me, even the philosophical importance. You know what Habermas abandons? What the greatest first generation of Frankfurt School, Adorno and Horkheimer, called dialectic of enlightenment, which means the horrors that were happening, colonialism or Gulag, Shoah, they are not some remainder of a dark medieval past. They are the results of the immanent antagonisms of the project of European modernity. With Habermas, this disappears. Just we need more European enlightenment and so on and so on. To conclude, then you can ask me questions if you want. We really live in sad times. Not only is Germany, I can explain it more, doing the most unethical thing you can imagine. Everybody knows. The general logic is we did the Holocaust, so now, as a dirty deal with Israel, we will say, you were our victims, but in exchange, we tolerate your crimes today. It's disgusting. And just to conclude, people like to mention what happens today in Haiti. Gangs taking over. But it's not just Haiti. Even in the developed states everywhere. Did you notice how the state power cannot reproduce itself without direct use of what are ultimately criminal gangs? Trump here needs Proud Boys and so on. And in Israel, let's face it, settlers' movement of the West Bank are illegal criminal gangs subtly used by Israeli establishment. And this is where we are, unfortunately, where we are coming today. To use the pathetic term, half a minute, the masks are falling, literally. I was shocked, my reaction was like, in Tom and Jerry, when something happens, the eyes pop out, and that was my reaction when Netanyahu, a month ago or when, said publicly, from the river to the sea, but the big Israel. So it's like what was till now done more discreetly is now done openly. We are entering a new era, extremely dangerous era. Yeah. And I, in all my naivety, who still think maybe there is something good, although they are hypocritical in this European human rights, I'm saying what is happening now in Gaza is the death of Europe, in the sense of, you talk to a Palestinian, he will tell you, yes, European human rights are bombs which are falling on us.